So hi everyone, my name is Tyra Hughes. I'm a collaborative arts major graduating spring 2026, and I'm an artist. So a significant aspect of being an artist for me is transmuting past experiences, both good and bad, into tangible art that can be of use for yourself, to reflect on past emotions, past pains, and past realities. Since 2022, when past trauma of mine resurfaced, I have been transmuting my past into multimedia art pieces that allow me to express my most deep-rooted and most authentic self. A huge part of rescuing my inner child from trauma was actually returning to my little self, to little Ty. The same Ty who loved theater, writing stories, recording music, yet who also went through traumatic events that made myself hide the parts of me that made me shine the brightest. So, trauma is defined as any event that has overwhelmed the nervous system and an ability to cope. So while a stressful situation can yield the ability to fight or flee, a traumatic event enables someone to freeze. And for all of middle school, high school, and my first year of college here at NYU, my trauma, it lay dormant. It festered and harbored and rotted inside of me until it one day was begging for my attention. The version of me who was quiet and suppressing her biggest trauma, and alongside that, her most authentic self, she was long overdue to expire. My soul, it was craving to act in confidence rather than a meek nature. And it wanted me to act toward my true desires, my true passions in life. And so that traumatic energy, it stayed in my body for years as a means of survival. So summer of 2022, that was a very transformative summer for me. After years of being very meek and shy and quiet, I was very humble about my artistic abilities, but suddenly that summer I was very assured in my future and my abilities, and I knew that I'm destined for success. And that success cannot be attained with a meek, shy, introverted nature. So I made it my mission to expel that version of me that, for unknown reasons to me, shifted me from being happy-go-lucky, outwardly expressive, to a quiet, shy, withdrawn, introverted girl. So one day that summer, I was doing breathwork meditation, which is a great way to release past traumas, past pain. And I prayed during that meditation to God and asked Him to reveal to me something from my childhood that I'd forgotten about. I expected to remember a happy flow of memories, but instead I heard Love Yours by J. Cole. And I always thought he sounded a bit like someone close to me in my childhood. Then I saw the numbers 2008 in my mind. And I remembered the early morning smell of dew on school days. And then lastly, I remembered a sleep paralysis nightmare I had in 2010, where an evil vampire creature was laying on top of my kid body, violating me. Then it clicked that for years, someone who I trusted deeply had violated me. That realization broke me. It shattered me to so many pieces, and that week I entered a depressive episode where I wasn't eating, I wasn't cleaning, yet I was sleeping a lot and crying a ton. But music helped me a lot during that time. It helped me the most. So that same day, when I realized what happened in my childhood, I made an experimental film. It's called I'm Beginning to Understand You, Little One. And it was a collection of spoken word and musical pieces where I would show myself coping with the trauma in some unhealthy ways, but also breaking into somber songs and that expressed my grief toward my little self that was violated. So from summer 2022 to winter of 2024, I allowed that film to lay dormant in my hard drive on my computer, and I only shared it with a few select people that are close to me now, my friends and my family. I did not come back to that film until February of this year. When I came up with a concept for a short film called Angel's Imprint that released last month. It's about the link between love, spirituality, grief, loss, and the spiritual realm. Now I must admit, I pulled a Lin-Manuel Miranda with my first undergraduate film. I wrote a character that was much like myself. She's a collab arts major, she's an artist, a lover girl, and also a survivor. I embedded all of the stories that I told you all today into that film, including footage I shot this summer. I discovered that I am a survivor. I poured back into my inner child by paying homage to all of the arts that I dabbled in as a kid: script writing, songwriting, singing, acting, dancing a little two-step. I was embodying a true artist in the flesh, and I transmuted my pain into potent artistic energy. So I am now a woman who stands in her power. I've taken back my power from the person who violated me, and by standing in my highest artistic regard. My success as a young, Black, queer, Caribbean woman pursuing the arts, both in my music career and my budding off-Broadway career that debuted this summer, that is the sweetest revenge to me. That's the sweetest revenge to me. It's the truest level up from my past. It's the truest transmutation of turning pain and suffering into true art. Now I leave you with some homework. Tend to your past self, particularly your youngest self who went through the most trauma. Next, lean on a support system as you face your younger self, and if necessary, lean on prescribed medication that may help you and any underlying mental health conditions that trauma may have created for you. And most of all, allow yourself to revel in the courage that it takes to transmute pain into a solid piece of art that you create. Not for yourself, not for others, but for yourself first. Thank you.